So I spent the last 2 months streaming on Twitch, and I have noticed a significant decrease in my overall social anxiety. This is absolutely crazy considering my anxiety usually keeps me from even talking to people, and I about had an anxiety attack during my first live stream. So, what is it about streaming that's helped me so much with my social anxiety? Well, I think that the most important realization I made is that how I feel is not how I looked. This is something I realized when I was making the video about how I completely failed my first live stream. I went back to watch that footage and I was expecting to see myself as a complete mess. I was completely overwhelmed throughout that entire 3-minute long stream. I about had a little anxiety attack and I just shut it off early. So when I went back to watch it, I was not expecting to see someone who was cool, calm, and actually fairly collected. I realized that how I felt internally was not what was reflected on the screen. And this really opened my eyes to the fact that while we may give little hints about what's going on internally, for the most part, our internal emotions are a secret. People don't know what's going on unless we express that internal dialogue. This was a huge eye-opener for me. Additionally, as I've continued to re-watch parts of my streams in order to extract thumbnails or add chaptering, I've gotten to see myself get more and more comfortable on the screen. This has given me a lot more confidence in the day-to-day and resulted in me being more relaxed, both online and in person. Another great realization I made is that chatting all the time has had some really significant benefits for me. I am known as the quiet person in the group. My social anxiety usually keeps me too scared to even speak or interact with another person, especially in a group, unless we kind of have a mutual goal that we need to achieve. And while I've improved a lot at this over the years, I still struggle with it sometimes. But one thing I really wanted to do on my streams was make sure that my potential viewers weren't stuck sitting in silence. I wanted to have fun and engaging streams. So I made sure that I had something to talk about at all times. And I even went so far as to create kind of a list of things that I could reference during the quiet moments. Some things on that list might be a hike I was planning that weekend, or the drama around the Stranger Things ending. This list has really helped me during the quiet moments of my stream, and what's great is I find myself referencing it less and less. What's even more amazing though is that I find myself using these tricks in person. For example, I was at lunch with coworkers the other day and everything was really quiet, borderline awkward level of quiet. And this list just popped up in my head. I plucked a topic from it and just threw it out there and it started a conversation. It was honestly kind of magical. Additionally, as I chat with more people during my streams, I find that I'm less anxious each time. Even if there's some silence or I can't think of a response to something someone said, I let the silence settle for a second and then move back into talking about the game. Those lulls or slightly awkward moments are having less of an impact on me overall. And what's really surprised me about this whole process is the support I find within Twitch. And I'm not talking about the Twitch platform, I'm really just talking about the other streamers that are present in the community. I honestly can say at this point, I think that most of my viewers have been other streamers. When I started this process, this is something I wanted to avoid. However, as I'm interacting more and more with these people, with this community within Twitch, I'm loving it. By interacting with them repeatedly, I'm starting to build a relationship with some of the people, and this is making the whole process a lot more comfortable, relaxed, and fun. And finally, this has all resulted in me being a lot more comfortable talking with people online. I have always wanted to play multiplayer games, but I'm always scared that by hopping into someone's game, I'm going to cause the party to die, or I'm going to ruin someone's base. Something will go wrong. And honestly, this has really kept me from interacting with people online because that pressure is just too high. But this is kind of why I started streaming. Streaming allows me to feel like I'm playing multiplayer games with people without having that pressure of potentially ruining the game for other people. And I know that my viewers can just leave if they're not feeling the vibes. So the whole thing is completely freeing. And now that my anxieties around interacting with other people online are starting to ease up, I'm planning to start streaming multiplayer games soon. But I will throw out there that I haven't just been streaming the last few months. I've also been doing a ton of research on things like social anxiety, social skills, charisma, etc. And you can find some of those videos here on this channel if you're so interested. But I really feel that combining these resources with this stream has made me be a lot more comfortable in my skin. And if you're interested in trying to stream to help out with your social anxiety, I just have a few suggestions. First, expect that you're going to be talking to yourself a lot. So don't measure your success on whether you had viewers or not, or whether you chatted with someone that day or not. Instead, measure your success on whether you hit stream. For myself, I probably spend 70% of the time just talking to myself. And I can honestly say that that has really helped me a lot. It does feel a little crazy at first, but by just talking, it's really allowed me to open up and relax in general. And secondly, be careful of the pressure to perform. Your only goal here should be to interact with people, not interact well. Don't measure your success on how well you feel you did. Instead, measure your success on whether you did it and you started to interact with people, started to open yourself up to that possibility. For myself, my only focus during a stream is to practice talking. I want to keep my mouth moving, fill the silence, and practice talking with chat if they're present. I refer to this whole thing as self-inflicted exposure therapy. So keep in mind, you should never base your success on how well you feel you performed or on whether you got a follower or a subscriber or whatever. Instead, you should just focus on having fun and something like a small goal, such as keeping your mouth moving more than 60% of the time or something. So am I going to stop streaming now that I've had so much success conquering my social anxiety? Absolutely not. Instead, I'm going to take this up to phase 2, which is to start streaming multiplayer games. I want to conquer that fear that I'm going to ruin the game for someone else and instead learn how to have fun with other people. I also want to bring this confidence to in-person interactions. I've already joined a board game group that meets once a week, and I'm already having fun with it, so I'm excited to continue to branch out in that. Well, that's what I have for this video. Please drop a comment below about something that you're doing to conquer your fears. Thank you for joining me here on Socially Sprouting. Bye!